Good, happy Thursday morning. It is Thursday, October 24, 2024. I'm Riley King, and welcome to your Thursday morning edition of WRMK News 12 Morning Newscast. We have a jam-packed broadcast to get to on this Thursday, so let's begin right now. First up, public weighs in on proposed sale of CMC to for-profit healthcare company. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Yeah, Marissa, this is the most detailed look we've gotten into that deal for CMC to be bought out by that for-profit out-of-state healthcare provider. And supporters of that deal we spoke with tonight say they feel this is the best last option that they'll have on the table to keep CMC open and operational.
Change is difficult, but this is the way forward.
A deal on the table with the future of a major healthcare provider in New Hampshire potentially hanging in the balance. The state now reviewing a proposal for Catholic Medical Center in Manchester to be bought out by Tennessee-based HCA.
I have been behind it from the beginning, and I continue to be behind it.
Supporters say the $110 million deal would offer relief from the long-standing financial challenges plaguing CMC. The hospital has lost money 4 of the last 5 years. Recent court filings for the state showing it's currently hemorrhaging $2 to $3 million every month.
Without this transaction, I really fear for what we will be able to provide to the city and to our patients, especially on the west side.
Opponents of the deal raising red flags about what a future under HCA could look like. The company already runs 3 New Hampshire hospitals, including Frisbee Memorial, where only a few years after taking over, HCA shut down the labor and delivery unit.
In the year before I was given my resignation, I continued to hear all the promises of a rejuvenated hospital and a functional ICU, but I repeatedly saw the complete opposite.
With that 4th HCA hospital, now you have a monopoly in this area. You are not giving us freedom of choice of who you want to go see.
The proposal also comes with a promise of millions of dollars of investment into CMC over the next decade. It would also spin off several charitable services like the Healthcare for the Homeless program into a nonprofit overseen by the Catholic Diocese. Supporters say, most importantly, the deal would keep the hospital's doors open.
You're not going to get everything you want, and you need to know that. But what's more important, I think, is to have healthcare and have that network, that capacity of services.
Now, tonight's public comment session was part of the ongoing review from the Attorney General's office into this proposed deal. That review also includes going through dozens of pages of financial documents from both CMC and HCA, trying to get as clear of a picture as possible as to exactly how this deal could impact patients both here in Manchester and all across New Hampshire who get health care here at Catholic Medical Center. Live in Manchester, Ross Ketchie, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. 2 seriously injured in Greenland I-95 crash that shut down the southbound lanes. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9.
Marissa, Steve, the Greenland fire chief tells me the 2 people hurt in this crash are going to be okay. But I spoke with a driver who saw it happen, and he tells me the aftermath wasn't easy to look at.
There's a guy in a car on fire. There are not many times in your life where you go, I'm just going to let that work itself out.
Nicholas Wyman says he was in the right place at the right time this afternoon when he stopped to help a man who had just gotten into a car crash on I-95 in Greenland right in front of him.
When I got to the vehicle and I moved the airbag, he was like slumping over, going to sleep. I could hear him. And so I kept slapping him and yelling at him.
The Greenland fire chief says 2 cars were involved and that it happened just past exit 3 when one car crossed the median from the northbound lanes and hit another that was traveling south. Both drivers left with non-life-threatening injuries.
The red SUV took just veered straight off into the middle and head on into the white sedan.
Traffic was shut down because there was debris across the whole road.
Crews working for about an hour to clear it and reopen all lanes.
It's a little longer than we normally are out there because we had the other accident a week ago. That was a very serious accident.
That crash happening the same way and on the same stretch of 95 exactly 1 week ago. A 24-year-old driver and 58-year-old driver died after the 24-year-old's car crossed into the southbound lanes from the northbound side and hit the other driver.
These two accidents probably shouldn't even happen.
And New Hampshire State Police are not releasing the identities of the two drivers from tonight's crash, but they do say at this point neither are facing charges. And the Greenland Fire Chief says in the meantime he just wants to remind people to slow down on the roads and to never drive distracted. We're live in Greenland tonight. Imani Fleming, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Important advice there. Slow down, everyone. Red Cross opens a new donation center in Amherst for blood and platelets. A new Red Cross donation center opened in Amherst on Wednesday, allowing donors to give blood and platelets. The nonprofit organization said the facility will increase the platelet collection capacity by 60%. This location is between Manchester Donation Center in New Hampshire and the Danvers Donation Center in Massachusetts. Donating blood is one of the most important things we can do for each other, for our trauma response centers, for those in our community who are impacted routinely, for the need of blood donors, and I'm honored to say welcome, said Rep. Megan Murray. The center will be opened Wednesday through Saturday. Those interested in donating can schedule an appointment at redcrossblood.org. Deadly McDonald's E. coli outbreak is expected to grow, the CDC is saying. Let's take a listen to that report from ABC News.
McDonald's tonight, the CDC now warning that the number of cases could rise. One person is dead, at least 49 sickened in at least 10 states now. Colorado reporting the most cases. Tonight, investigators focusing on one ingredient, slivered onions, and for now, the quarter pounders are off the menu in 1/5 of all McDonald's restaurants, all in the affected region. Here's Mola Lengi.
Tonight, as health officials race to find the source of the deadly E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's quarter pounders, they say they expect the number of people affected to grow. So far, they've tracked 49 cases of E. coli across 10 states. At least one person has died, and 10 others had to be hospitalized. The FDA says slivered onions served on quarter pounders are a likely source of contamination. McDonald's pulling the entire sandwich off the menu in the affected states, about 1/5 of all restaurants. CEO Joe Erlinger trying to reassure customers.
We're confident that we'll see our way through this and we'll restore confidence for the American consumer to come to McDonald's.
The outbreak could be a setback for the world's largest hamburger chain that's been trying to win back customers with $5 value meals after they balked at years of rising prices.
It's all about the timing of getting answers, getting a sign-off by the CDC, and making people feel comfortable that this has been addressed.
McDonald's stock down about 5% today.
Well, David, the one death occurring in Mesa County, Colorado, according to public health officials here. And McDonald's says at this point in the investigation, they believe the contamination stems from a single supplier, David. Mola Lengi with us here tonight. Mola, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that report. That does it for this morning edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great morning, and we'll see you back here later on today for another broadcast. Goodbye, everyone.